Hey, Mystic Michaela spiritual family. Welcome to Know Your Aura with Mystic Michaela. It is 2023, and we are going to talk about today how to level up your manifesting for the new year. You know, I love to give you what works for me. I'm always trying to put a spin on it so it's fresh and new. This has been working for me, so I'm laying it all out, and hopefully it works for you too. But first, hey, Scotty.
Hey, guys. Well, let me just, I don't want to start off the new year with a red rant right off the bat. So I'm going to try to come like softly talk about this.
Okay.
So manifesting. Okay. All right, just the word.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, if you asked me 5 years ago what that meant, I wouldn't even know. I couldn't even tell you. Like,
right.
What are you talking about? What is manifesting?
Yeah.
What is that?
You'd be like, quiet witch.
Exactly. Yeah, what is this nonsense you're talking about? You know, and then fast forward to like 2020, 2021, 2022, every single person is manifesting. It's like part of the lexicon. It's, you know, kids are saying it. I manifested this.
Yeah,
you know.
our kids say it.
Yeah, exactly.
And they manifest like nonsense. Too.
Yeah, they get like a T-shirt. Like, I manifested that.
Right.
You know, I manifested, you know, going down the slide at the playground first. You know, it's like it's like everybody's manifesting. Everyone has like a program about manifesting.
Right.
It has manifesting jumped the shark.
Has it jumped the shark?
Yeah, is it time?
Is it like season 6 of Full House or something?
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
I don't even know if that was a season. I'm just saying. Like, you know.
It's become so like, I don't know, like old hat or something. And maybe it's lost its way. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I remember like back years and years ago, it was like The Secret was like the big thing.
Yeah,
we've
like, talked about that.
Yeah, and that was like when people first, I don't know if they were calling it manifesting, but that's when it like kind of came about.
It's been around.
Forever.
This
forever.
talk has been around forever.
But not in the way that it's being used, I think, today.
It's being involved and marketed.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it's become like overused.
Yeah, I think it's almost in a way. I mean, you could even. I mean, I'm just going out on a limb here. I feel like some people look to manifesting the way maybe they used to look to religion or something like that. It's becoming kind of like a larger than life concept that people want to attach to a belief system or something like that. But like a big thing that I want everybody to understand that I've had to learn, because I've navigated this too. I was back in 2004. I remember I downloaded The Secret on the computer. I'm like, I'm downloading it. You know, I'm watching it. Nobody even did it back then. It was like this weird thing to do. I'm like, I'm watching. You know, you have to put your own spin on it. Otherwise, it won't work. That's the thing. Like, you have, just like I think with religion too, like, or spirituality or anything that's about something you connecting to the powers greater than you, you have to put your own spin on it. Otherwise, it's not going to work, and you have to keep evolving that spin.
Okay.
So that's how I see it.
So it's a little bit different than when everybody's been saying now.
I mean, it's great to, like, if you haven't been into it, you know, and you're like, what is this? It's kind of a great introduction to kind of get in on somebody else's spin, even my spin, you know,
right.
Like, come on in, you know. But honestly, it's about you developing your own spin. I can give you tips, and I'm going to be the one to say it, like, you got to make your own tips that work for you. But that's the point. Like, you have to customize it to your individual self, because you are a spiritual being. You are your own energy signature that's walking around, unique from everybody else. The way that you interact with that which is greater than us is a very personal thing. So you have to go into yourself and understand what those personal connections are to really harness the powers that are available to you. And I think that can be missing sometimes from a lot of the rhetoric out there about manifestation.
And because it's become so mainstream. I mean, even my parents are saying it now.
Oh.
If my parents are saying, we're manifesting this, you know it's jumped the shark.
Right.
You know
we're
what I'm saying?
manifesting the early bird.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, it's like, you know, the stock market in 1929. Everybody was buying it, and what do you think happened? It totally crashed, right? So, like, this term is going to crash, I think. You know, manifesting is coming down.
I can see people making fun of it. Yeah, and you're already seeing it being called other things.
Yeah, it's going to be called other things.
And I've seen that. I've seen on TikTok, like, portal switches and all these other words for it, and that's fine. You know, it's the same thing, and it's been around since the dawn of time. You can go back and look at, I mean, Marcus Aurelius was talking about this stuff the same way they're talking about it now. So it's not a new thing, but that's not the point. The point is how do you relate to it, and how can you develop your own personal relationship with it? That's all. That's if you take nothing else, take that.
All right. And we're keeping it around here, too, because on January 11th, we're doing a manifestation meditation event on Zoom.
Yes, if you're around, you may join.
Yeah.
But I do, and it's true. And I want you all to feel that collective energy of, hey, let's do this together. At the end of the day, you're on your own. That is true. And you can't really latch on to other people's stuff. It, like I said, it can help you kind of give you that nudge, but you're the one that has to be like, oh, wait a second. That makes sense. But if I do this, this works for me, or like what resonates with you.
Okay. Well,
which we're going to talk about today.
Yeah. You've heard it here first on KYA. We are so avant-garde. Is that the right term? Avant-garde? Like,
I don't know what you're about to say.
Like we're ahead of our time. Like,
oh, wow.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Yeah. So right now we're claiming, or I'm claiming, not you. I'm claiming that manifestation has jumped the shark in 2023.
Scott, I feel like people have already said that like 3 years ago, though.
Did I? I could have.
No, not you. Other people.
Oh, other people? Oh, no. Hey, I'm the inventor of Strip Podcast, Jumanji,
right.
Jumanji. There you go, to start off your new year. And, okay.
Okay.
So the other thing is New Year's.
Oh, okay.
It passed.
Our manifesting's not real, and now let's go on to New Year's. Go.
Right. And it is and I bring this up because you did this incredible. I read this post of yours on Instagram. It was an incredible post. And if you listen to the podcast, I hate New Year's. I know I've mentioned that before.
Yes, you have.
I hate New Year's. I think it's the worst day of the year.
It's like the clock ticking on your mortality. It really gets to you.
It's either my birthday or New Year's is the worst day of the year. I'm not sure which one. It's like in a tie right now.
You're like, why are we celebrating time going away?
Since New Year's just passed, I'm putting New Year's as the worst day of the year.
Okay.
And I really hate it, and I don't get it. And in fact, this past New Year's, I stayed up to 11:55 and went to bed on purpose at 11:56, and I was asleep by New Year's. I did not watch the ball. I shut Ryan Seacrest off and Duran, and that was it. I was done.
You're a rebel.
Didn't make it to midnight.
Right.
And I guess, and then I read your post on Instagram,
right.
which really was impressive, by the way. And I'm not just saying that. I'm not biased. Well, I am biased, but. And I thought, what's the difference? I mean, it's the next day. Who cares? It's the same thing. It's like, I don't get, there's no difference between December 31st and January 1st, other than, man-made issues like your taxes.
Right.
I try, before the first, I try to get everything in.
Yeah.
So it's in the tax
You get
year.
real hung up on that.
Yeah, I do all that stuff.
Yeah,
all my invoices.
You get really oddly
all that stuff's
upset about that. I don't, but you do.
But other than that, it's like I don't feel any different the next day. There's nothing different happened.
Well,
I don't get it.
As we've discussed, time's not real.
And that's why I like your post.
As we've discussed, obviously.
All right, so tell me about that post.
You know what I decided this year? Because I always try to just write from the heart. And, I'm not a big fan of New Year's either because I feel like it's a lot of expectation. And here's the deal. Like, this world is constantly lying to you. It's like, hey, you have somewhere to be, or what goals should you need to set for this next year, or what didn't you meet last year that you're going to really finally do this year or whatever. And at the end of the day, like, there is no tomorrow, there's only now. And I know that's cliche, but once you really feel that, like in your bones, that the only moment there ever is and ever will be is this one, there is no need to, I guess, like, look to a destination ahead in a lot of ways. So my new thing this year is it already happened. You hear me say that all the time. If something's going on and we want something to happen or whatever, I'm like, you know what? It already happened. It already happened. That's it. It's done. Already happened. I say that all the time because there's no such thing as a timeline. It doesn't exist. There's no timeline. There's no past timeline. It doesn't exist. There's only this moment. Your energy, you cannot be destroyed. You were never created. You've always just been. And that is where you will continue to be eternally. So my thought for this New Year's, as deep as it was, is just you're already there. You're here. There's no destination. There's no place where you're like, oh, I did it. Because just celebrate that you got to where you're at today.
Yeah.
That's it. Just celebrate it. Like, you know what? I made it. and laugh when the world is like, hey, what's your workout goals this year? What are you going to do for career? It's like, whatever, and honestly, all the stuff will happen because you're content in this moment to just be.
I love that.
Okay.
I actually love that. I'm not even questioning that. I agree with that 100%. That makes total sense. I mean, that's incredible. Anyway, I just have to say this before we go. We have a couple ads. I might be possibly the only person, and I wonder if this is a red thing. I might be the only person that's never done a New Year's resolution.
Never?
I have not my entire life. I have not one time done it.
Didn't you do an episode where you made them all or something?
Oh, wait. Well, that was for fun. I was just joking.
Oh, you were not serious?
That was my joke. Jebediah. No, he's real. So, yeah, I've never made... Is that a red thing to not do...
No.
Question for you. I'll pull the card on you.
No, I really think that's a you thing.
That's a you thing.
Maybe. You're having like a rebel moment towards New Year's. I can see red auras... But I can see red auras going a different way, too. Like, I'll get you this year. I'll get you New Year.
Yeah.
Like, kind of more no, not you.
Oh.
Other red auras.
Oh.
I feel like in a different mind frame than yours, but still red, could look at, I'm going to compete against this New Year. Like, this is the new year.
Like a competition type thing?
Yeah, I'm gonna get this new year. I'm gonna kick this new year in the gut. Like, we're gonna get it. I'm gonna bench whatever 300, and I'm gonna get that career, and I'm gonna get the corner office, and I'm gonna do it. I can see red auras looking at it more like a competition, and then they're like excited because and that's actually a way a red aura, not you, could use. I guess the new year. It's like a strategy for a red aura to manifest.
Okay.
Like, hey, how can you make this year a competition for yourself? I guess. Because Reds love a game.
I guess, but why then do you have to be so conformist and make it New Year's? Can't you just make that the day that you decided to do that?
Sure.
And it's just, the cliche is everyone goes to the gym on January 2nd.
Yeah.
It's packed.
They do, though.
And the gyms are cleared out by February 1st. Let's say. So, but can't you just be like, all right, today, let's say you think of it on November 2nd. Like, November 2nd, I'm going to the gym.
Yeah, of course.
Why don't you just do that? Why does it have to be New Year's?
Well, I think everybody knows that.
Do they?
Yeah.
All right.
I think you don't like being marketed to.
Okay.
And New Year's is a lot of marketing. It's a lot of Planet Fitness ads showing up on your internet feed and stuff like that.
Thank God the holidays are over. So, there we go.
Okay.
Just putting that out there.
You're such a holiday joy. Yeah. Such a joy.
Speaking of holidays, we'll talk about that at the end. But all right, we have 2 ads, and then when we come back, you're going to talk about leveling up your manifestation game.
After this holiday season, shopping for everyone else and dealing with all those crowds, the last thing I want to do is go shopping for myself. And Stitch Fix has me covered in this way because I don't really have that time or the energy and I get overwhelmed. So they just do it for me. And I love Stitch Fix because they give me these little nudges to find new looks. It's really easy and fun to get started. First, you just take a few minutes to set up your Stitch Fix style profile. You answer a few questions about what you like to wear, what you don't, and how open you are to trying new styles. They do it with a lot of visuals, which is great. Then Stitch Fix's expert stylists will get to work finding items exclusively for you. Every piece is handpicked for you and is unique to your size, style, and in your budget, making it the best way to discover clothes that make you look and feel your best. Stitch Fix will send you 5 pieces to try on at home. You keep what you love, you send back what you don't. Shippings, returns, and exchanges are easy and free. Plus, there's no subscription required. You can just try it once, or you can set up automatic deliveries. There are no hidden fees ever. So sign up for Stitch Fix and get the season's latest pieces for women, men, and kids. Sign up today at stitchfix.com/KYA to get $20 off your first purchase. That's stitchfix.com/KYA to get $20 off your first purchase. Limited time offer. Purchase within 2 days of sign up. My 7-year-old has eczema, and it's hard because she can't use all the skin products that everyone else can use. But you know what? She loves Gladskin. They have everything, and it's her own stuff, and she's really proud of it, and she loves using it. If your child has eczema, know that you're not alone. Managing childhood eczema can impact your whole family. It's hard to see your kid deal with discomfort and difficult social interactions. And you've probably tried a million creams with medicines that didn't work like you'd hope. But now there's GladSkin, which is steroid free and clinically proven to reduce eczema symptoms safely and quickly. GladSkin is a new category of skin treatment that is made for people of all ages with eczema-prone, acne-prone, and rosacea-prone skin. Inflammatory skin conditions are often driven by disruptions to the bacterial environment living on your skin. GladSkin specifically works to target the imbalance in your skin's microbiome. But unlike other skin brands and prescription medications, GladSkin uses MicroBalance, a revolutionary smart protein that restores the balance of the good and bad bacteria that live on your skin so it can finally heal. It is so effective that 91% of users, adults and children, who tried their top-selling eczema cream reported significant improvement after just 7 days. So start your journey to stronger and healthier skin today with GladSkin. They are offering my listeners 15% off plus free shipping on your first order at gladskin.com/KYA. That's gladskin.com/KYA for 15% off plus free shipping. gladskin.com/KYA. Well, it is a new year and there are all these talks about resolutions as always. And no matter if you do this or not, you're inevitably hearing about them. Everywhere you go, you hear nowadays about manifesting, in particular, manifesting challenges, manifesting techniques. They call it other things now too, like portal switches and positive thinking, etc. A lot of them try to make it magical, but it's really not magical. It's you working with the energy of the universe and not against it. And this time of year, I always love to simplify it and give you my own spin. I like to take this time every year to level up our manifesting techniques together. And you can listen back to all the manifesting episodes of the podcast. Just look for this date around this time every year, and I do them. And maybe I'll put up a list on social media so you can go back. I'm always trying new things and level up from the year past. And then I share them with you if they work for me. Well, this worked for me, what I'm going to be talking about today, and I want it to work for you too. Hearing about how manifesting works for you, it makes me very, very happy. So let's do it. A lot of this does build off episode 64 when I talked about empath manifesting, if you want to re-listen to that. But here's our new ones for this year, 2023. Ready? You've got to feel it. I'm not going to talk about that because that is the magical, that's not so magical element we are adding this year. And let me tell you, it's a game changer. In episode 64, I talked about how empaths manifest feelings and emotions, but not things. So if you want love, you have to visualize the feelings of love, not like the most hottest partner you can think of. You are more of a feeler, probably. That's how you connect to the place you need to be in order to obtain that energy, in order to obtain your goals and your dreams. So let's back it up. Quick review. Empath manifesting. So you want emotions and feelings, but not things. And if you really think about that, it makes sense. So you want to feel love, for example. Not really have like the hottest partner on the block. You want to feel safe, not have $1 million in the bank. You want to feel secure, not the mansion you keep seeing those YouTube influencers living in. It's the feeling you want, not the thing. Even if you're like, oh no, it is the car. You know, it is the awesome car. Like maybe you want to feel other people's attention. Maybe you want to feel a sense of belonging. Maybe you want to feel a sense of I made it, which you could go back to secure or safe or something like that. So you always got to follow what you think you want down into the emotional aspect of it. That's the first ticket here. And I'm telling you probably, I mean, unless you're like a green aura and maybe you do want the certain car because you just love that engine or something, like how it specifically works, fine. There's always a what if element. But I'm saying for most of you, because y'all have some sort of empath aura working here, that's the key, that's the place, that's the connectivity that you need to grab in order to manifest more effectively. Where does what you want actually boil down to an emotion you want to feel? Now, the interesting thing is which we're fighting against, society and its 3D ways will tell you that you have to travel outside of yourself to get what you want. You have to get money to feel safe. You have to have the hot partner to feel loved. You have to have the fancy house to feel secure. But you don't need anything outside yourself to get to those feelings, which are actually your dreams. It's about creating it in you first. And if you're like, that's cliche and not cool, like, we'll get there. Trust me. Once you feel those feelings in yourself, it's like the chains break off of you. And society, in the 3D way it was built, which is the ego-based dimension, which is saying that you aren't enough, will lose its hold on you. And that's freedom. When you can do this, an absolutely amazing thing happens. You live on the same exact vibe as the thing you want. When you feel totally loved in yourself, like you can create those feelings in yourself, the person who matches that vibe enters your life. When you feel secure and you create those feelings yourself, the house materializes. When you feel safe in this world, the money manifests. It's always in a way you could never dream of happening. So you have to take yourself out of the how it happens. And I've talked about that a lot in the past manifesting episodes I've done. You have to let go of the how. Well, if this happens, then this can happen. Then he can talk to this. And then, no, forget it. Because anything that's really worked out for you has probably worked out in a way, thinking back, you're like, whoa, that's crazy how that worked out. Because taking yourself out of how the universe is going to get you something actually frees the universe up to do it in its own way. And I've said this a million times, but it's worth saying again. It's kind of like if somebody gives you a job to do something, like, okay, go, I don't know, organize the pantry, but they're breathing down your neck the whole time. Like, oh, wait, you're putting it out there? Wait, why are you doing that? Don't you want to do it this way? What do you do? That, and what do? You're like, forget it. You just do it yourself. Okay. Picture the universe like that. If you give the universe a dream, a goal, love, success, safety, security, you got to step out of its way so that it can do it itself. If you're breathing down the universe's neck with how it's doing it, the universe is just like, okay, you do it yourself. Bye. You know, that can happen. That's why you have to detach. You got to want what you want, focus on experiencing the feelings, which we're going to be talking about today, and then just let it go. So skipping to just focusing on the feelings as if it already happened, that's the key. That's the ticket. That's the magic. It's you working with your own vibration so as to be at the level of the things you want are on. And then they just naturally come to you after you've already reached it. And this has happened to you. And you might have to really think about it, but it's happened to you. I'm sure there's been times in your life like you wanted something so bad and then you just kind of forgot about it. And later when it happens, it's kind of like, oh, cool. I used to want this so bad, but now it's something like I'm so excited about. I felt that way when I graduated college. It was like, oh my gosh, like the stress, the fatigue, the nervousness, the anxiety, the want. I just got to get to the end. I just got to get to the finish line. And then I'm standing there in my cap and gown. It's like, okay, where are we going for dinner after this? Cool. Like because I already had it, you know, like I already felt the success. I already got to that. So that when the day comes that it's like, here it is. It's like, yeah, because it already manifested in myself. I already felt proud enough of myself that I did it, if that makes sense. Like the piece of paper didn't really mean anything to me at that point. It's like, yeah, of course I did it. And that's just like a tiny example, but that could be a lot of examples for you. Maybe it was a job you got, or a prize you won, or a relationship, which you always wanted. Maybe it happens and it's really nice and you're really grateful for it, but you've already had the feelings inside of you there. That's why it happened, because you actually put yourself on that level where it was like, oh, obviously it'll come to you. The work, how do I put this? It's not really, you already put the work in once you get the thing. And the work is feeling like you already got it. And that's what I'm talking about. The feeling. And we're going to talk about that even more. But today, the twist on this whole thing is the focusing on feeling it. So how did I come to want to talk about this, this episode? So I was doing a Zoom meditation a few months ago, and I was just talking about this very briefly and the feeling of visualizing love in order to get it. That you just lie in bed and you think about how it feels to be loved and visualizing the emotions that come with it, the pure calm and peace, which come when you feel you're next to your life partner, your soulmate. So, you lie in bed, and whether you're next to somebody or not, what would it feel like to have the person who I have unconditional love with lying next to me? And how do I feel? Do I feel safe and loved and protected and calm and happy and grateful? And just feeling that gratitude. Oh, I'm so thankful for this. I'm so thankful. And it comes to this point where you might be overwhelmed with emotion. And that's where you have to get where you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful. And yes, your logical mind is saying, but there's no one in bed next to you, or the person in bed next to you is definitely not that person. But it doesn't matter, because you're creating those feelings in yourself. You're vibrating at a really high level, and that's the place where the things that you do want can match and come to you. And someone asked a really great question during the Zoom meditation. They asked, but how do you feel something you don't know how to feel? And I was like, whoa, that stopped me. It's really interesting. And it was a nuance that I had forgotten to mention. That's the borrowing feelings with gratitude in order to make more of them. And that's what I'm talking about today. So if your goal, for example, just keeping with that soulmate love connection, but you don't have one, or the one you have isn't working, like you don't know what that would feel like. I don't know what it feels like to have a partnership like that. I've never had it. The ones I've had in the past weren't like that, or I've just never had that at all. I don't even know what it would feel like. I don't even know what it would feel like to have that soulmate connection I want so badly that I see other people have. And I'm telling you that you have to feel these feelings as if you already do, but what if you don't know what they feel like? Well, there's a workaround for that. Love, for example, is something which is a nuanced thing depending on the relationship, but really the same across the board. So the way you love a friend is different than the way you've loved a romantic partner, is different from the way you've loved a sibling, is different from the way you've loved a pet. But love really deep down is unconditional acceptance. That is what love is. So regardless of what you do after that, like what defines the relationship, love is really unconditional acceptance, and it's wanting the best for someone for the pure sake of you care about their energy and them feeling that same way towards you. No attachments, just unconditional love. That's what that is. And there has to be somewhere in your life that you've experienced that. So if you're looking for that in a soulmate romantic partnership, but you've never had it, you don't know what it feels like, you sure do still know what unconditional love feels like. And if you have to dig for that, you have to dig for that, and that's okay. So when you start trying to feel that feeling in yourself, because again, that's what manifests, that's what brings you to that vibration where it can actually happen, you might have to dig to borrow an experience in order to get that. And man, I hope I'm making sense right now. So, for example, let's say you've had a dog, because most of you have, and dogs are wonderful at showing you what unconditional love is. All right? So you're going to focus on that. The feeling of safety, that they'd never betray you, that you're so grateful for this presence in your life, how pure and wonderful and kind this relationship is with this dog. So focus on that. Just take out the subjects and just focus on those emotions. Get into it. Really reflect on it. Even thinking about it is putting yourself on that vibration. So that is your manifesting practice. You're just thinking about what that felt like. What does unconditional love feel like? And if you got to borrow from the relationship you have with the dog, then do it. There's no shame in that. Actually, that's probably the best place you could go to feel unconditional love, because they got it. Perhaps you've had this with a good friend. In childhood, perhaps you felt so connected to someone. It was this platonic, unconditional love, wonderful, safe, secure. This is the person that always held the seat for you on the bus, or said, come sit next to me at lunch, when nobody else patted a seat down for you to come sit with them. Or the first person you met at that new school, and they said, here's a pencil, come sit with me, be my friend. Sit in that feeling. That's love. And really feel that, and feel that gratitude, and feel everything that made you feel. Sit in that. And that will bring that to you. Or maybe you've had those feelings with a sibling or parent where you felt protected and looked after, and you felt really connected in this lifetime, a bond. That's the feeling you can focus on at this moment, that bond. And all you have to do is practice feeling it live and in living color in this moment. And it will be easier to do it. You might only be able to do it for flashes emotionally. Just a flash. Just even when I was just talking, maybe you felt it for just a second. That's good. That's really good. You'll be able to do it longer and longer. And that's what you're going to be working on. That is our twist this year. Work on feeling that. Now, I use the example of love, but you have to, here's our steps. 1, what do I want this year? 2, what's actually the emotion I'm looking for? 3, where do I look to borrow those feelings so I can really sit in those emotions strongly? But the first part, which I really hope you understand, because that's the crux of it all. Anything you want outside of yourself is really just an emotion you want to feel within. So sometimes we have to check that. What do I always hear from you all? I want to lose weight. And this is a sensitive one. And I just want to talk heart to heart on this one, because this is such a big one that I keep feeling. And I feel like a lot of us have it, even if, that's my running one for 10 years now. Even if it's just that one that's always just there. Let's talk to it. You're beautiful the way that you are, okay? And that's not about losing weight. That's about accepting yourself as you are and loving yourself, okay? So what that is you sitting in yourself, and I think this is a good dose to put in your manifesting practice for all of us, is self-acceptance. And borrowing times when you felt really beautiful and really accepted and really perfect the way that you are. And it has nothing to do with how other people perceived you. It had to do with how you perceived yourself. So think of a time that you really accepted yourself. You're really proud of yourself. Think about the time when your body did something for you and you were so grateful. Maybe you got over the flu and you're like, wow, body, thanks for getting me through that. Or you had a baby and you're like, wow, body, thank you for getting me through that. Or you healed from a really traumatic sickness or wound. You thank that body and love it. And feel that acceptance from those moments when you felt so grateful for yourself. Because that's really what we're doing when we do that. And the weight, you won't even care about that anymore. I'm telling you. I just wanted to bring that up because I've been hearing it so much. And I think it's great where we've reached new levels of body positivity in our media and stuff like that. But honestly, I think sometimes it's just a coverall and we're all still feeling it underneath anyhow. So I just wanted to talk about that. So sitting in those feelings and asking the universe to fill in the blanks where they best feel it is how you manifest this season. Simply feel it as if it's real for you now, because it is real. You can make any feeling you want exist. And when it does, your physical reality matches up to it. So does this seem abstract? Maybe, but it sure does work. And we have to travel inward to these nuances to make it work for you in ways you haven't thought of before. When I first started my manifesting journey, so this is like 2.0 stuff, okay? So like if you're like, whoa, it's over my head, you might want to start back kind of my episodes more when I started this podcast, because I kind of give you the bare bones basics then. And then I grow with you guys, so I build on it every year. And this is a nuance that, when I'm telling you it's changed things, it has for me. Like, it has. And I just want to give you what works for me and, please use it. Here's the deal. This is what I've learned, and I'm really passionate about this. I love you all you are powerful, and you have to, please know how powerful you are. All right. You don't have to go anywhere but within to get what you need. We got to drop thinking that we have to outsource our happiness, our power, our needs to anything outside of ourselves. The retreats, the silent weekends at resorts and spas, the yoga in Bali. I mean, who wouldn't want to go? I do. That's fun. Okay. But we can't all do it. Life isn't going to be, a 23-year-old influencer's dream for you. No matter how you found your spirituality on some ayahuasca journey. Okay. Like we can't, some of us have jobs or kids or lives or the budget isn't working. And if you can do it, please go. Please. I think that's awesome. But if you can't, don't feel like, oh, too bad. Hands up in the air. Guess it's another year of this. We can all do it. You can go inward and make your life the way you want it to be. That's the only place to do it. You can find what you want doing dishes, walking to work, playing with the kids, hanging out in your hometown. You can do it all now. There is nowhere to go. That's a lie. The lie they tell you to keep you the same. The 3D world wants you to stay the same because it's safe and it's survival and it's been working for you. But guess what? You can do more. And you can do it right now without going anywhere. So using our thinking, our brains, our energy to put towards the feelings that we want to feel instead of the ones they want us to, that's the good fight. So let's do it together. Because remember, when you invest time in you, and I truly believe this, the world is a much better place. You do better, you help others more, and you inspire them as well. So I want to hear about how you are uniquely manifesting the feelings you need to feel in living color. What are your goals for the year? How are you using your own experiences with emotion to live in them and draw them into your physical reality? How are you feeling it today? Hey, Scotty.
Hey, guys.
So I had you try our next sponsor, Sakara. Tell us about it, would you?
I will. And, sometimes, for me, I'm not always open to new ideas, from the podcast, but you gave me the banana protein bread.
Yes.
Amazing.
I know.
I loved it. It was incredible. No, seriously, it really was incredible. I mean, it was so filling. It tasted great, tasted fantastic. I'm like, I could just eat this for the rest of my life and be fine.
Yeah.
You don't really need to eat anything else.
It's very filling.
It's very filling, and it tasted great.
Yeah, I mean, all their stuff's like that.
Yeah.
And that's the whole point with Sakara. Like, it's not always about crash diets and deprivation. It should never be about that. Instead, Sakara wants you to nourish with more of what helps you look and feel your best. Their organic meals and wellness essentials are designed to support your goals, whether that's weight loss or clearer skin. Are you ready to ring in your healthiest year yet? Sakara delivers science-backed, plant-rich nutrition programs and wellness essentials right to your door. Their ready-to-eat meals are nutritionally designed to deliver results from weight management and eased bloat to boosted energy and clearer skin. And right now, Sakara is offering our listeners 20% off their first order when they go to sakara.com/KYA or enter code KYA at checkout. That's Sakara, SAKARA.com/KYA to get 20% off your first order. Sakara.com/KYA. Hey, Scotty, you seem a little grumpy right now.
Yeah.
What?
I just realized that I have the Disney Plus, subscription service. I think they raised the price without even telling me. Maybe they did tell me. I forgot about it. No one watches it.
Yeah.
Why do I have the Disney Plus subscription? I have all these subscriptions every month. I can't even remember which one they have. I got to get rid of some of these.
You need Rocket Money.
I do.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Because Rocket Money, it helps you manage your budget better, cancel unwanted subscriptions.
Like my Apple TV that I have.
Yes. You and TV.
Okay.
You need Rocket Money. So Rocket Money, formerly known as Truebill, is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps you lower your bills all in one place. Over 80% of people have subscriptions they forgot about, like you, Scott, like that streaming service you bought to watch just one show on, or that free trial you
Ted
never even used.
We watched Ted Lasso on Apple TV. I never watched one other show on there.
And you've been paying for it. Yeah, Rocket Money will quickly and easily identify your subscriptions for you so you can stop paying for the ones you don't want. Rocket Money makes canceling subscriptions as easy as a click of a button. You don't have to like yell at them anymore on the phone, okay? Like it's going to be better. Simply find the subscription you don't want and press cancel. And Rocket Money will cancel it for you. No long hold times with customer service or tedious emailing back and forth. You know they make it difficult on purpose. I hear that red rant often.
Oh, yeah. Disney Plus especially.
So stop throwing your money away, Scott. Cancel unwanted subscriptions and manage your expenses the easy way by going to rocketmoney.com/KYA. That's rocketmoney.com/KYA. rocketmoney.com/KYA. Hey, Scotty.
Hey, guys. So, after listening to your speech, it actually was fascinating and actually really related to this one.
Okay.
And more than the others.
It's okay. It's okay.
Sometimes I don't get it.
I know.
And sometimes it takes me a few weeks to get it.
Okay.
And then sometimes I get it right away.
Okay.
And this one
okay.
I got right away. But I had this, I think I actually did this manifesting thing at, of all places, Animal Kingdom.
Oh, I know what you're going to say.
Yeah. And we
I
went,
know exactly what you mean.
I said that I know I said it was going to be like 4 to 5 years before I went back to Disney theme parks. But 1 year later, I'm back at Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, so last week, I'll set it up. Last week, Scott's sister, she came down with her 2 kids from New York, and they wanted to go to Disney. But really, who wanted to go to Disney? Because we're close, so when people come down, what do they want to do? Go to Disney. And then Scott got roped into it again. That's true. But really what sealed the deal is he has a nephew he's autistic. He's severely autistic. And if we say anything insensitive, I apologize ahead of time. I mean, this is just us coming from a very loving angle towards our nephew. But this kid, he loves Disney. And he wanted to go so bad. So what's Scott going to do? So obviously, Scott got roped in to going to Disney.
Right. So there's 9 of us.
9.
Last time we went,
9.
there was 6. This time there's 9.
And he wants to go to Animal Kingdom. Right.
And, obviously, me being the red, I'm the leader. I'm now in charge of 9 people.
9 people.
So, yes. Okay. So, I don't want to go through the whole day there because it was chaos and disaster.
And we already know how Scott feels about Disney. You can listen to episode 111.
I could go on.
For his take on greedy Disney.
10 red rants right now about greedy. They are exactly. And how does anyone have fun here?
But your nephew doesn't know that. He just was so focused on this one ride.
Yeah.
He was like... It wouldn't have been a good day if he didn't get on this ride, but the park was ridiculously crowded.
Yeah, the park was ridiculously crowded. I mean, who in their right mind goes to Disney during Christmas week? That you have to have.
Well, we did.
Yeah, there's got to be something wrong with you to do that, and obviously there's something wrong with me. So, but anyway, I would say, and this for the overall experience, normally or last time when I was at Disney, I was a red. But what red? Would you say
were
I
like
was?
Angry, bitter, resentful. Last time we went to Disney, you're like chip on your shoulder, like you just saw through the Mickey Mouses and into the corporate greed, and you just talked about that all day.
Yeah. And then I would say that this time when we went, my red was a little bit. I felt it myself.
Yeah,
I felt it. More of like a protective red? I don't know.
It was a lot better. Like, you were still intense.
At times.
Yeah, but it was an intensity that had, like, a better purpose because you were trying to make this day really great for your nephew.
Yeah, and my kids too. And our kids.
Well, yeah. You're like, whatever, you two.
And my niece
you got lucky you come back here.
And my niece as well.
Of course.
Yeah.
But I don't know, really, it's just like your nephew was so into it.
Yeah. And I have to say, everyone's indigo here. My sister, she's indigo.
Yes.
Caitlin, her niece, she's like
pink.
She's pink, but she's got a bluish indigo to her.
She's like pink and yellow.
Oh, pink and yellow?
Yeah.
Oh, she feels like so.
I know. Pinks are very
shy
sweet.
Or something. Yeah.
Yeah, pinks are sweet.
And then Eddie, my nephew, he's got to be a green indigo.
He's green indigo.
He's got to be like green indigo.
Yes.
So everybody, you're indigo.
Right.
Abby's a sweet purple.
She's turquoise.
Turquoise and purple. So it's made like this bunch of feelings going through the park.
Right.
So it's late in the day after all the nonsense has occurred, and maybe I'll mention a couple of things after I go through this speech.
Like, it's a lot.
And
it was a day.
Eddie, and he's autistic, and by the way, he is the sweetest kid on earth.
Such a sweetheart. He's 10.
I would do anything for this kid.
Yeah, he's a sweetie.
So we're at one end of the park. Farthest part you could be at. We're at like Everest, which if you're in Animal Kingdom, it's like in the middle of nowhere. Okay. Right. And he wants to go on flight. Yeah. Flight. Okay?
He wouldn't stop saying it.
Wouldn't stop saying it. And you knew my sister, this is going to be a bad day. If this doesn't happen, it's going to all go to pot. It's like kids are tired, probably hungry at this point because you can't, eat in a normal place there because Disney's greedy. And
right.
And all he wants is this flight.
And the park closes at 8. That's like an hour from now. Yeah. Like that.
And he does have the DAS pass, which is like the disability pass that they give to autistic kids if they need it. Yeah. And he has this. And I'm like, you know what? All right. I'm doing this. This is it. It's going to happen.
The way, just like, I actually figured out, your sister and I like actually put our heads together, purple me, and figured out the Disney app. I did it for Eddie. Right. And it was hard. Yeah. But we figured it out so that we could like, the way it works is, it's actually really great, is you check in and then you just don't have to wait in line if you have the disability pass. It means you don't have to wait in line. So if it's 2 hours, all right, you just come back. You don't have to wait in line. But you have to check in. You can't book anything else in between that time. But so that wouldn't have worked out for this. And he wanted to go on, it was called Flight of the Avatar, which is, by the way, set that up. Yeah. It's the most. Yeah, it's insane. It's like 4 hours. You can't get on that ride. You can't get on those rides. Yeah. It's like impossible. Yeah. Impossible. I know. But I had to do it. He wanted to. He had to do it. I didn't, He doesn't understand it. He doesn't understand. I didn't need to get on the ride. I didn't even care if my kids got on the ride. But in my mind, he had to get on the ride. I had to get this kid on the ride. So that was your feeling. Right. And this is my feeling. And the entire time, we're running to it because the park's getting towards the end of the day and getting towards close. And again, there's 9 of us. I'm in charge of 9 people. You were losing people as you went, though. No, I know. I'll meet you at the cafe.
And these 2 places are the farthest ends of the park. Right. You have to go across the entire park. Right. And my sister is getting upset because she doesn't think it's going to happen. Yeah. And she's like, Scott, let's just call this off because if they don't do it, this is going to make it worse. It's going to make it worse. It will absolutely be a disaster if this. I'm like, you know what? This is going to happen. And in my head, it was going. You were like, this is. So what was the feeling you had at that time? Just like, I'm going to do this. It already happened. It already happened. Yeah. There's no way this kid is not getting on that ride. That's the feeling. Right. Yeah. Yeah. And I said, this is going to happen. And so we went through the whole park. I'm feeling this whole way. The whole way, people are telling me, Scott, no, this is not going to happen. This is impossible. Right. It's just not going to happen for him. We get there. Girl at the counter, a lovely indigo. You caught an indigo. Caught an indigo. Cast member. Eddie is like attached to me at the, Right. He's still repeating it. Yeah. He got on the ride. Yeah. You got him on? He got on the ride. You got him on with his mom. Yep. Yep. With his mom. Yeah. I didn't need to go. Right. I don't care. Right. But he got on a ride, elated. I know. Elated. Yes. Best moment. Yeah. So. And you did it. I did it. Yeah. But I knew it was going to happen. There was no way in my mind that wasn't going to happen. And like, if you can take that feeling, I mean, who wants something more? Like, can you think of a thing you want more than that in that moment? No. Like in life? No. And it seems like a small thing, but for him, that was a huge thing. For him. Yeah. And so that is kind of like what I'm talking about with like leveling up your manifesting. Like, what can you want that badly that you can feel it that much and then also take in the feeling that it already happened? Yeah. Because that's how you get to it. Yeah. And this is just a little example. For us, it was a big deal. I mean, you can do this with other examples too. This is just an example. Yeah, but that's cool. I knew you were going to say that as soon as you mentioned it. Which was really, really cool. Yeah, that was your favorite part of the whole trip. Yeah. So was Disney good, Scott? No. It was not good. I mean, the funny is, and now I can tell a couple funny tales, but I got that part off. By the way, we're very lucky we get to go to Disney. Oh, of course. I mean, not me, but the rest of you who enjoy it. We love it. I'm just like limping around like, when's this day going to be over? As I'm going from one end of the park to the other like 5 times. But the funniest part was So yes, look, I go with my red here. We don't have any yellow and green. You need to
Your
be
dad's
like
yellow.
Yeah, but he doesn't know how to work the app.
He's
And we went through this the
1994
last
yellow,
time.
yeah.
You have to be a yellow or a green.
You're
here.
on your app all day on Disney.
Like people are just walking into buildings, looking at their phone to see where the next thing they have to do.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. I don't. When I go there, I want to take my phone and throw it out. I don't want it on. I don't even take a picture. I just want to be in the moment of it. However bad it is. I just don't want my phone. I that's the last thing I want to be.
All right.
Doing. But anyway. So finally, you and my sister did figure out the app.
We did,
but there was it was always glitching.
We're like, why is it glitching?
It was always
like,
it was always glitching.
Yeah,
and because it linked 9 tickets to it.
Yeah,
but the problem was,
you can only go on with a few people,
right?
So we'd have to switch it back and forth like who the people are. But one person we just couldn't attach. We're like, why can't we attach your mother?
And it was glitching the system.
Yeah.
So we would get to the ride and. Of course, he has the DOS pass, but they would be like, no,
he's not registered. And we were like, what's happening?
What's going on? So we finally, in the middle of the day.
Meanwhile, there's 5,000 people at all times standing around you.
Right.
And you have to keep walking and you can't ever stop or you'll be stampeded.
Sure.
So we're trying to figure all this out on an app. Why is it glitching?
Yeah.
What's going on? And
exactly.
Eddie's flight. So we're we got to figure this out.
So finally, I'm like, all right, let's just go to the guest services and figure this out. I mean, we're not yellow, we're not green, but we can figure this out, right? It's just
we can ask somebody to do it for us.
And then there it is, as all 9 of us are standing there. My mom didn't check into the park. She just walked in.
Just walked in. She was a stowaway. I didn't guess you can do that at Disney.
You can just walk into the park.
If you just are kind of confused or whatever, they might just let you wander in.
It's weird because she was going on rides. She just walked into the park.
She did standby for the dinosaur ride. And she's I got on, no problem.
Yeah, I think she just skipped that line too and just went to the front and she just got on. We're like, how did you do that? You didn't even have a ticket.
Wait.
Bree had lost her ticket on one of the rides and they were still letting her go.
Yeah.
Okay. But anyway, so yeah, my mom was the culprit here. Then we had to go through all the process.
Right. Okay.
And the guy's like, well, I can't do that here. Fix the ticket.
Yeah.
So you have to go to another place.
Yeah.
And at that point.
And meanwhile, you're thinking how much did we spend to get in here today?
Yeah.
How much? What time is it? How many hours till it close?
Yeah. And at that point, the other red came out. I was just like, who has fun here? How is this fun?
It was fun. I like Animal Kingdom. I think it's my favorite park. All right. I'm going to say it.
I enjoyed eating a hot dog while standing on one leg.
No, you had a seat, you stinker. I sat. I didn't have a seat.
I wolfed down a hot dog.
What happened was your mom, who it was a stowaway to the park and did glitch the system, I'll give her this. She can grab a table from a bunch of an angry crowd.
She did.
And she threw herself on a table. And she's like, Bart, Scott, table. Yeah. She threw it. And then somehow she got chairs for 5 of us. So you sat.
My feet.
But as you're eating, wolfing down a hot dog, there's just crowds of people just are you done yet?
Yeah.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Can I have this chair?
Yeah.
Can I have this chair? Can I sit you have this chair?
And then my sister's like, we got to make the show. And there's a hot dog going down my throat, barely going down. It's stuck there. I'm going to get it to the show.
Yeah, the only person I've ever seen you acquiesce to is your nephew.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to do stuff and you were fine. And I was like, oh.
No. Whatever he wanted to do, he was going to do.
The key to Disney is Eddie.
Yes. Eddie is awesome. All right. So
there you go.
Yeah, that was my example.
So there's your example. So hopefully we hear everybody else's examples too, and people can make it work for them. And it's just kind of my leveled up. Let's just level it up. Your brain. You always have to keep thinking new things. You got to keep thinking different ways to think about things so that it's fresh and new and individual to you. Yes. But next year I have to manifest a win on the Christmas exchange because I lost this year.
Yes. So this is 3 out of 4 years. I have 1 now. Past 3 out of 4.
All right. Okay. I don't like when you do these
this one.
these if I said out of the past 10 years, I can't do math that quick, but I think I win that one.
We might be even now. You had a huge run in the beginning. You had 3 in a row. before I even won my first one, I think.
It's when you pick the challenges.
Well, we made a new rule. Mm-hmm. Okay, so for next, we did make a new rule because, all right. So the new rule is that the loser gets to pick what we do the next year for the exchange.
Okay, fine.
So next year you get to pick the exchange, no matter what. Like, we'll set the parameters together, but you get the overall pick of what we
topic.
do.
Okay, this year was like you had to do a Hallmark story and give a gift that made sense in the Hallmark fictional story that you created.
Yeah.
It's like the fan fiction Hallmark story Christmas.
Yes.
And you won because you used a cat, okay? And we all know that was going to win the crowd.
Well,
and one person told me my story was better than yours.
Who did? Who was that person?
I'm not going to tell you.
Who was that person? Do I know that person?
Yes. One person told me that my story was better than yours. But
are they related to us?
No.
Okay.
It was an MMSF member.
I'm taking them back. I'm banning them from the group.
But that you won because of the cat thing.
Yeah. Well, I'm in the Hallmark store.
Yeah.
And it was like a beam of light. It's like the same time in the Burlington Coat Factory year when I won, when there was that elf mug, and I saw it. It was like a beam of light on it. So I'm in the Hallmark store. There's a beam of light on this angel cat. This cat.
It's a great statue, and I actually really like it.
And I'm like, I can't lose with this. I get it.
And you just make a whole story.
And I make a whole story out of it.
It was good.
It's this incredible Christmas story. I had Santa in it.
Oh my God, incredible.
A lucky coin. It's the greatest story ever told. And it was a blow-away win this year.
Okay.
Bree, Abby.
All right, you won.
Yeah.
Next year will be mine. I'm going to manifest that win.
All right. I think maybe you are better when you pick the topic.
Yes.
15 minutes in a Walgreens.
Yeah, impersonal gifts.
You took that impersonal gifts. Hopefully people will do it as well. Last year a lot of people did it. I don't know if as many people did this one.
This one was like, you always come up with these weird convoluted concepts with like a lot of like when you did like a gift your aunt would give you, your long lost aunt.
That was a good one.
And then we both bought each other a fruitcake, so it canceled it out. So we had to go back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I'll work on that.
All right. And the other thing I'm going to be manifesting for this year is within a couple of weeks from now, your second book, Simon & Schuster, the psychic workbook, all the skills. How many skills are in the
40.
book? 40 different skills based on your teachings and all the readings that you've done and all the skills that you've worked on over the years.
I'm really excited because I want you guys to empower yourselves. So this book it's going to be for you, because they came to me with this thing, can you make a psychic workbook? And I'm like, yeah, but I can do it in the way that I know people can pick it up and customize it to their own abilities and who they are as people. So this is really written with love for all of you. Anybody can pick this up and find at least, I would say, you could do them all, but at least a big chunk of it you could relate to and start practicing.
Okay.
Because I want you guys to take the power back.
Take the power back. That's that's what this whole podcast is about. Taking the power back.
Please take the power back with your manifesting. Be your own medium. Be your own psychic. Like, you have all these powers. Every time I read you guys, and every single one, I've never not said this about somebody. There is something so special about you that you're not seeing. And my goal in this book was for you to see that special thing about you in yourself. And then, release your power. Yeah.
Well, comes out January 24th. Buy, 5 to 7 copies. Give them to all your friends.
Okay.
Maybe more. If you want to go, if you want to go 10, that's fine too. Scott. It's up to you. I don't want to tell you what to do. But buy 7. Okay. But anyway, yes. And again, the book, when you did it, it's for you guys. I mean, the amount of love that you got from the first book.
Oh my gosh.
Sent Simon Schuster over the edge.
Yeah.
And, they told you, normally we wait, a couple of years to see how the book does over, like I say, a 2-year, 3-year period before we sign an author to another book. But, I don't maybe bragging about you here, but
You
no,
are.
it's more the people. They bought so many books.
Well, that's what I told them. I'm like, you don't know the MMSF, okay?
Yeah.
Like, they're like amazing, and they're just, we're such a supportive family.
So because of that,
Yeah.
second book deal got done much quicker than it would have.
That's why this book's for you guys, and I'm so grateful for all of you, and in this new year and all the time, because again, time's not real. So in this eternal moment.
All right.
So this podcast is for you and about you, and we're so glad you spent some time with us today.